Hello, greetings from SUGHYD. Today's session focuses on navigate the digital maze, strategies for global website excellence on a path to composable, presented by Amitabh and Benjamin and hosted by Vishal and Yamini. Over to you, Amitabh and Benjamin. Thank you.
Thank you, Yamini. Thanks everyone for joining us today, and thank you Sitecore User Group Hyderabad to giving us an opportunity to present. We had a pleasure of presenting the same session at Sitecore Symposium this year in Nashville. The topic we have today is navigating a digital maze of a massive web and marketing landscape. Imagine yourself browsing through a website and looking for a simple piece of information. After multiple clicks, endless navigations, inconsistent user experience, and possibly a broken search, you find yourself trapped in a digital maze with no way out. Now imagine the same experience for more than 300 websites belongs to the same organization, and then replicate the same frustrated user experience for more than 10 million users all across the globe annually. What is at stake here? User experience, of course, companies' global web presence, potential leads and opportunities, but most importantly, the brand reputation. In the session today, we are going to talk about how we at Johnson Controls have navigated and solved a digital maze of a massive web and marketing landscape with a different level of maturity and complexity, and then created a smart, sustainable, and a future-ready MarTech architecture. We are going to talk about our challenges, our journey so far, our result we have attained, and our future roadmap. My name is Amitabh Vyas. I'm a solution architect for web and marketing at Johnson Controls. I bring over 18 plus years of IT experience with a relevant experience in Sitecore for more than 12 years. I'm honored to be awarded as a 4-time Sitecore Technology MVP. I have my partner in crime today, Benjamin Adamski. Ben, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks, Amit. Ben Adamski, director in our customer experience practice at Accenture Avanade. I've worked with Sitecore since the better part of 2008, 3-time MVP, and this last October was kind of rounded out the times presenting to 8 times at Symposium in the past. So I'm excited to be here today and go through our presentation.
Thanks, Ben. To all who don't know what Johnson Control is, we are a multinational company creating smart solutions, softwares, and services to make our buildings safer, healthier, and sustainable. We are in 90% of the world iconic commercial buildings. If we talk about United States, we are in the Empire States in New York. If we talk about India, our recent project which we have delivered is Ram Mandir Ayodhya. With 100 plus years of experience, we are operational in more than 100 countries in the world with a diverse workforce of more than 100,000 people all across the globe. In 2018, when two titans of the market, Johnson Controls and Tyco, merged together, we found ourselves in a fractured digital landscape with a massive web and marketing ecosystem with a different level of maturity and complexity. We had more than 300 websites, which were all public facing with an inconsistent user experience. These websites belongs to 30 different brands of Johnson Controls and were built on a variety of tech stack. We are talking about ASP, ASP.NET, VB, VB.NET, PHP, Java, WordPress, SharePoint, Expression Engine, homegrown CMSs, and of course the flat HTML-based old school websites. The challenges which we had is due to the variety of tech stack, we had an inconsistent and disjointed user experience. Every specific website belongs to a particular brand have an entirely different look and feel and entirely different user experience than comparing to a different website belongs to the same ecosystem. So it was very difficult to provide a consistent user experience or a unified branding message which can present Johnson Control as a company rather than these individual brands. we had very insufficient content management systems. There was few websites which were built on CMSs like WordPress or Expression Engine or SharePoint. But when it comes to a big company like Johnson Controls, you need a centralized content operations so that you can create a consistent branding message so that it can be delivered to your customers. Since all these website belongs to a variety of tech stack, it was very difficult for us to integrate all these systems together and build a marketing ecosystem. Because when we talk about MarTech, it is not just about your web CMS. There are a lot of other part involved, which I'm going to talk in the upcoming slides. And due to all these challenges and limitations, we were a bit hesitated onboarding any new tools and technology to our ecosystem until we build a solid foundation. When it comes to governance, since all these websites were deployed in their own dedicated environment because of the dependency on the tech stack, we were not able to implement a centralized governance and oversight model, which can help us to deliver a consistent user experience with a proper governance and a proper oversight model across the platform. Since all these website belongs to a different tech stack, there was a lot of technologies which were being used. Either those were already deprecated or we were leading towards an unmanageable technical debt, because eventually all these technology were going to either expire or were built on a very old legacy version of the particular tech stack. We were paying a very high cost to make these website up and running for our digital web presence with a very limited scope of flexibility and scalability. At the same time, for the digital marketing, because of the old school tech stack and old school technologies being used, we had a very underpowered lead generation engine, because lead gen is one of the most important factor to generate the most ROI of your website if it is not an e-commerce site. Because of the old technology, we had very low SEO and the accessibility score, which was badly impacting our global web presence, and we had very low very low organic search coming from Google. For our colleagues in the digital marketing space, we were not able to provide them a real-time analytics data so that they can create smart decisions in their digital marketing journey, marketing automation, creating any campaigns, reaching out to the specific customers, where are they in their buying journey, and so on and so forth. And due to all these challenges, we were very far behind in the game of faster time to market. So in 2019, we started putting our brains together to define our North Star. What we were looking in terms of architecture is a modernized platform, a very solid web CMS, which can sit right in the heart of our marketing ecosystem and can be easily integrated with the different part of a MarTech architecture. As I mentioned, when we talk about MarTech, it is not just about web CMS. You have your PIMs, you have your ERP, you have your SAPs, you have your marketing automation, you have your data analytics, you have your DAM systems, you have your search experiences, you have your cookie compliance, you have your tag management, and so on and so forth. So we were looking to build a scalable infrastructure which can support our growth, because eventually we had the plan to migrate all these 300 websites from their siloed environment to this centralized managed marketing ecosystem with a solid governance model. While we were building this new MarTech architecture since 2019, we always had a plan in our mind on buy rather build. So every platform which we were onboarding to our ecosystem, we were making sure it's a SaaS-based platform rather than we are building that in-house, so that it can make our composable journey easy going forward when we were going to eventually migrate our Sitecore ecosystem from an Sitecore XP or Sitecore XM to Sitecore XM Cloud. From the governance, from a governance standpoint, what we were looking is, since all these 300 websites need to be migrated, We wanted to make sure that our content operations are as autonomous as possible. We wanted to empower them that with minimum IT involvement required, they should be very self-sufficient to migrate these websites from the legacy systems to this Sitecore SXA or this centralized ecosystem going forward, and can also manage the multilingual content by their own with zero IT dependency over there. We wanted to empower them with modern tools and technologies so that they can migrate these 300 websites as soon as possible, so that we can achieve a faster time to market, and at the same time implement a centralized governance and operational models using a shared code repository and a consistent design pattern library at the background. From the digital marketing space, what we were looking is we wanted to empower our digital marketers so that they can create and deliver a consistent user and the personalized user experience to all the websites, all the users who are coming to our websites, and can also generate quality leads from our website with a robust lead generation engine which we were looking to produce. We also wanted to empower our marketing team with a data harmony and a real-time website data analytics so that they can use that data and design their marketing strategies so that we can understand all the visitors, all the users who are coming to our website, understand their buying journey, and deliver the right message at the right time. With that, I will pass on to Ben, who's going to talk about our journey and our results.
Thank you, Amit. So we'll kick it off with the journey here, and we can go to the next slide and kind of dive into some of the details. But I think the biggest theme here is you've got to kind of start in that controlled, relatively small manner, call it almost an MVP. So take a site and prove out the journey, make sure you've got the right platform and the right foundation behind it. So we look, for this example, right, launching with one site, going back, to 2020 and launching that platform and really having that, ability to prove things out in that small controlled environment and look at technical things. So, what's the advance on the back end, things like zero downtime deployment. And then in 21, launching an additional 20 sites, right? So proving out the platform. We launched one site. We were able to, go launch another 20 sites and scale the platform up. And then also have, the technical foundation, things like active, passive disaster recovery environment and so forth, to really have that extremely solid foundation to continue to scale and build upon, all while setting the patterns and helping accelerate those future migrations to double the amount of sites launched in 2022 for additional 40 sites on the platform. And having this one foundation with integrations that are consistent for location and product data, and then the ability to have pages like resource pages, which were a differentiator to have, pulling data from multiple sources together. So kind of getting everything the customer needs onto one page, no matter where those data sources are. So, kind of smooth everything out from a technical perspective. So it's really easy for the customer to find exactly what they need. And then 23, launching 30 sites, having multi-brand capabilities, and really, going in and having some of the table stakes for these days, right? Things like cookie compliance and the editorial content around blogs, and then leveraging cloud solar as well. And 24, really, it's a big year this year is, having the flagship site on the platform, some technical changes around going from XP to XM. So really supporting those future visions around headless and, truly being composable, being decoupled from the experience database, and getting to, all this goes on. There's always the version of Sitecore in the background, right? So being able to, execute and go live on 10.3 and launch another 15 sites. So they're a really busy year this year, but really great rewards on really having, over 100 sites on the platform combined. And so we can go to the next slide. And here we kind of talk on architecture. We've kind of grouped things together from content management capabilities of the platform. So things not just the web content management, which is in Azure PaaS, but also looking at, various SaaS tools that surround the entire experience. So tools that are SaaS-based that hold product data, location data, documents, and content creation and copywriting. Leveraging them together with other capabilities really on the marketing side around sales development rep chatbots and account-based marketing that are AI powered and really intelligent, and then blending that with key things for digital experience today. So tag management, cookie compliance, all SaaS-based tools. And then those are kind of table stakes, but then getting into kind of the more marketing automation focus. So lead generation via forms and marketing automation, coupling that with social media management and then SEO and accessibility. All of this creates that really rich experience and rich platform, which is able to be measured through analytics and customer data. Really kind of at the heart and the center of the platform is everything that surrounds it. And how do I go in and measure it and make sure it's going to deliver the results we need? And have that unified digital experience and search experience that brings everything together. So really a powerful way to get everything unified with the platform. And we can go to the next slide. And so this slide really just shows an example, right? So from a homepage perspective, that unified, modern, clean look and feel, but then also having that continuity between the corporate site and the brand sites together, leveraging one toolbox of components that can be arranged in different ways, and really, working as a team to get everyone distilled down to a set of, let's just say, roughly 10 templates that can have components added to them and adjusted to the needs. But really, here's a great starting place for all of the businesses to really help up-level their experience while still having consistency to the corporate brand. We can go to the next slide, and it kind of shows some of the offering pages and differences there. So, that same consistent look and feel, everything is kind of uniform, but you've got the ability to have different components and different orders. If I just look from option A to option B, the third component on the page swaps, and I've got a different experience, a different look and feel, especially when I'm scrolling. But I've really got that same templated experience across there, whether it's one line of business or another. I can go to the next one, and this just shows some differences around different variations of landing pages as well. So swapping out here, roughly, I think it's the fifth component on the page. So is showing that there's different varieties and different iterations of it, right? This is really the ultimate goal of a content management system, is to drive the consistency in content and in the experience, but still have that flexibility to make sure I'm presenting it in the right way with the right components to the user. We can go to the next slide, and we'll dive in and kind of talk about the path that we were on. So really shifting to SaaS-based integrations were really key with this. So aligning with that component model, as you saw in the architecture, being able to shift from the platforms that are maybe legacy or on-premise that don't allow you to scale, to the SaaS-based integrations that really take that off the table, and you don't have to worry about scaling because you're relying on the vendor for that and the tier that you're on. And then from a component and a theme strategy, the past 3 slides that we went through on different designs, obviously it takes a lot of work to get there and get different business units, different corporate stakeholders aligned to that component and theme strategy. So we did a lot of analysis on what components were on some of the existing sites, what components were needed on the new site. And then every time we bring a site onto the platform, we look at what components we have that'll work for that. And maybe there's a few gaps in getting those addressed and building a new one. But as you move to headless, you've got to go through that process through a different lens. What components, or maybe talking to a third-party service, and so forth, and really go through and do that deep inventory, all while making sure the components you do have are being used and leveraged. You don't want to migrate a component and do all the development work if it's not used on any of the sites. So it's really blends in with kind of the third option here, right? So, or the third point is refining that governance model to look at not just the content and the components, but the entire platform and alignment with future brand visions and platform capabilities and so forth as you go on. We can go to the next slide. and we'll dive into some results. And so one of the big things with the program was really having that shared platform, shared functionality. It's a cost-effective path so that all businesses can onboard and level up to the platform. So eliminating platform overlap. All of these other disparate CMSs, you don't have to have them anymore. You've got one platform, it's harmonized, and it's not just about saving cost, right? It's about driving consistency and continuity across brands and across the business. And that really is that way to not just do it on the back end, but also from a customer perspective. That unified platform gives that coherent and efficient way to engage with the customers. And then it from a marketing perspective, it's that common ways of working. So you've got a single set of components. It defines the way everyone works. And you've got flexibility in it. So one set of components, but you've got flexibility through attributes and things like that. And the beauty of having one set is you can really invest in making those components as rich and connected as possible. So making sure you've got accessibility standards built in, analytics and so forth, all at a component level. So when they get used, it's got all of that rich functionality with it while still being configurable. So if I look at the last point here around reducing time to market, when you have one platform and one set of components that are all shared and really up-leveled with all of the key requirements they need, it makes building sites in the platform much quicker, and you can deliver that high-quality experience with everything built in. And then from a theme perspective, the concept of global themes and local themes really help you deliver that rich brand-focused experience to the end users. So they've got that consistency with corporate, but also the ability to adjust those styles via local themes that help get the experience more tailored to the brand. Okay. And so, we look at the timeline, we look at the designs and the themes. There certainly is an arduous effort to get everything onto one platform. So we look at taking all of these sites and putting them into one globally centralized web platform. So over 100 sites today. And all of these websites, their purpose is to drive lead generation, whether it's getting the information in front of the consumers, exactly what they need as they're on their buying journey, or filling out a form and connecting and taking taking their journey to the next level through marketing automation, forms, and email, and so forth. But all of these, right, we look at the capabilities we talked about on the architecture slide, all of those flow into here. There's one integration for PIM, one for digital asset management, one for tag and analytics and cookie compliance, and one search platform, and one location management platform. So all of these brands are sharing that same foundation, the same underpinning to deliver that experience that really drives everything forward, and not consistency just in the visual design, but also from the technical back end of the sites as well. Okay, and so if we go to the next slide, we'll just take a look at, so we talk about the journey, we talk about, many years to launch, 100 sites. Here's some of the examples, right, across 5 different business units around taking, legacy designs and really making them consistent. There's 5 different examples. We can see they're very disparate in their design, styling, look, navigation, and so forth. And as we flip to the next one, you'll see that refresh and everything's modern and clean and consistent. You can easily see the same use of components, but you still have that brand and theme, just with a much lighter weight look and feel that's consistent across all of the brands. You've got things in the navigation, so products and services in the same spot. So if a customer is shopping across different business units they have, the sites look and feel like they're all part of one company, as Amit was saying. You can go to the next slide. And so we'll dive in and we'll talk through some of the numbers. So 100 sites, all of these different brands, powered by 200 plus Google Analytics enabled components, over 100 websites with that consistent user experience, 75,000 leads or inquiries or leads from the websites. And since those components are analytics enabled, putting a site on the platform increased accessibility score by 20%. And then over 50 authors managing content in 30 languages, supporting 10 million plus annual website users, all tracked with the unified data layer. And so we can go.
Thanks, Ben.
Thank you. I'll turn it over to Amit to talk the roadmap.
Yeah, so these are of Of course, major milestones for us. But we are still on a journey. We have migrated 100 plus websites so far, and we have 200 more to go. So the website migration is going to be a consistent approach for us to migrate these websites from their legacy system to this centrally managed Sitecore as a platform. At the same time, we have recently added a lot of Gen AI tools to our ecosystem, things like SDR chatbots or account-based mark account-based marketing and so on and so forth. So we are really looking forward how these AI tools can help us to achieve excellence and give us a better understanding of our users on the website. What are the specific things they are looking forward, so that we can, though we have achieved a consistent user experience, and our next step toward the user experience is to produce and deliver personalized user experience to all these different users coming to our website looking for a simple piece of information or any information regarding the specific products which they are looking forward. So going forward, we are going to explore platforms like Sitecore Personalize and Content Hub and so on and so forth, so that we can have those integrated with our MarTech ecosystem. Seeing those are SaaS platform, there should not be any challenges. And from there onwards, we'll start our composable journey or our headless journey, which is not going to be a big bang for us because of the huge inventory of the website. So we are looking for an incremental approach. We'll start with a small or the medium scale website first. Start converting the common components which are being used from this shared code repository for all these 100 websites, and transform those components from a .NET MVC to a Next.js, so that we can start our headless or composable journey. And then going forward, we'll plan to migrate our Sitecore ecosystem from the Sitecore XM to Sitecore XM Cloud. That's all from our side. We open the floor for questions. Any questions from anyone?
Any questions, guys? But I think like keeping up with the trending technologies also, along with like it was a huge foundation like effort that would have taken, and this is a really unique case scenario wherein we have to focus on like the foundation as well, so that it is helpful to easily navigate to the composable world as well. I think it's a really good presentation on like how to move to composable, because we have to keep up with time as well. Also, we have to keep up with the technology, so it is future resilient as well. So that is a good presentation.
Thanks, Emily.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day, and we'll talk soon again in the next session, maybe. Take care.
Yeah. Thank you
Awesome.
all. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Have a great evening.
Yeah. Bye.